In a world where there was already a perfect trilogy, and you didn't think you were going to get any more of these movies, because you thought for sure the last one was the end. It put a big perfect bow on the series, and you didn't need any more. But yet, what's this? We have another sequel. Toy Story 4. About this film, our watch meter states, the good sequel we all didn't need, but got a new generation to love Toy Story. Welcome to the Cinema Club. R&R Reviews. Hey guys, we're back again today to let you in on our thoughts about our latest reviewed film. We know that everyone is extremely unconcerned with our opinion, and that's why we will not let you down. As always, don't forget to click that like and subscribe button. Check out our Facebook and YouTube pages for all our content. Today our spoiler-free review is the latest edition and one of the most beloved animated franchise in cinema history. One that didn't need another edition, but got one. It's also arguably one of the most successful set of animated sequels that Disney has ever made. Because, let's face it, Disney is great at telling stories, but awful at making sequels. Little Mermaid 2, Cinderella 2, The Lion King 2. How many more 2s do I need to say? Today we're going to talk about Toy Story 4. Now, if you're anything like us, you may be asking, why on earth would Disney make another Toy Story after they ended the last one so perfectly? Well, we know exactly why, and it rhymes with shmoney. Nevertheless, we tried to go into this with an open mind. We gave Toy Story 4 an overall rating of 6.2 out of 10 points. Now this film is definitely worth your time, but it falls beneath the mark that this very franchise once set the bar for. The story seems pretty familiar at this point. There are a few twists and turns that make it interesting, but overall, we feel symptoms of deja vu. It's like we kind of already saw this movie, and it loses a bit of sentiment. It tugged at the heartstrings, but it didn't captivate us as it did in times past. I'm sure that the goal was to capture new generations of fans and conclude this beloved series, but we worry that the fans that started with this franchise have all but fallen off the wagon. Our story follows our gang of friends after the events of the third installment. The plot doesn't seem to differ much from the previous films. Deja vu. We have plenty of the original characters and of course some new additions. This film claims to be the end of the franchise. Since this is the end, we expected to see an extremely moving ending that would make us bawl like a baby. But the film only disappoints. It lacks the sentiment that we have come to know, and it feels so rushed. It feels like they spent so much time on the story, and then they just rushed right through the ending. We focus mostly on Woody as the previous films do, deja vu. However, the film seems to keep itself distanced from the rest of the original characters. So rather than feeling like an end of the franchise, it feels like they're trying to create a new set of films here. It doesn't come off as a conclusion. Instead, maybe something like a step toward another trilogy. A portion of these beloved characters don't even have a line in the film. We don't even get to see the people that we've grown up in the Toy Story movies with talk. Because of this, we find ourselves lacking the nostalgic sentiment that pulls us in. What this film doesn't lack is comedy. We were constantly laughing from beginning to end, tons of references, humor, sarcasm, and of course puns. The comedic tone is definitely a high point for the film, mostly due to some standout stars. Now, Toy Story is known for its epic cast and cameos. There are several stars that make this film, but a few heavily stand out. The standouts in this film, among the many talented names, are of course Keanu Reeves, and probably Keegan-Michael Key and Jordan Peele. They stand out as the largest of the comedic relief throughout the film. Of course, we still have Tom Hanks, Tim Allen, Joan Cusack, John Ratzenberger, Blake Clark, Wallace Shawn, and so many more. Toy Story has always consisted of a great ensemble. These great actors bring life to these characters that we love so much, and it keeps us coming back for more, and more, and more, apparently 4 times more. The score obviously mixes some of the nostalgic tones that we have all come to know, while adding some new bits here and there. It's not that it's terrible, it just seems like it didn't get the attention it deserved. Just as in our story, there is a lack of that draw and the feeling that grabs our emotions. And we are still questioning why anyone ever let Randy Newman make music. The visuals here are what we should be raving about. Even if you hate this film, which I don't know how you could, the shots and cinematography were breathtaking. There were countless moments where you couldn't even tell if it was animation or a real set. Pixar has always been groundbreaking in this area. Their first film was the original from this very franchise. The strides that they have made in their technology proves itself with each new film they put out. This film is no different. If you care nothing about this franchise, at least watch it to see these amazingly profound visuals. In the end, Toy Story is always worth a watch. Did this film grab our hearts and jerk our tears? Not necessarily, but it was entertaining for kids and adults alike. This is definitely a film to put on your radar, knowing that it won't quite hold the same place in our hearts as the prior films, but still a welcome piece of the franchise. But just in case Pixar's listening, please, please, please stop making Toy Story films. Anyways, that's all the time we have for today, guys. And don't forget, it's a beautiful day in the cinema hood.